One, first and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashem Warakah Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me this truth, and including the elder bishops on down, and overall to the elect, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Brakatham, 244,000, and including the 1/3 as well to do follow. And this your brother Laban. Now I'm going to be relatively quick with this. I just want to address that basically this situation here is going to definitely spiral out of control. It came out and it is official that Iran did what they did to those Israelis over there. And, in a matter of time, we should be expecting a retaliational act with Israel to respond, And, eventually, all of these precepts that we've been bringing out concerning the destruction of this world, especially America in this case, is now going to be had, which is indeed the will of the Lord. So without further ado, let's play this video and let's get into it.
According to sources, a second wave is ready to start at any moment. As we mentioned earlier, Russian President Putin has a message for Benjamin Netanyahu: get out of Lebanon now or face dire consequences. Russia calling on Israel to immediately withdraw troops from Lebanon. And that's why last night, Putin knows exactly what's coming, racing back to the Kremlin at 11 o'clock last night for an emergency meeting. And Netanyahu knew what was coming. Because
Absolutely.
he released this video message to the Iranian people shortly before the attack, basically saying, now's the time, rise up against your regime. We are here to love you. We as Israelis love you. But we're going to help you basically throw off this regime, and they are hurting you. This is what Netanyahu had to say a short time ago.
I speak a lot about the leaders of Iran. Yet at this pivotal moment, I want to address you, the people of Iran. I want to do so directly, without filters, without middlemen. Every day, you see a regime that subjugates you make fiery speeches about defending Lebanon, defending Gaza. Yet every day, that regime plunges our region deeper into darkness and deeper into war. Every day, their puppets are eliminated. Ask Muhammad Def. Ask Nasrallah. There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There's nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country. With every passing moment, the regime is bringing you, the noble Persian people, closer to the abyss. The vast majority of Iranians know their regime doesn't care a whit about them. If it did care, if it cared about you, it would stop wasting billions of dollars on futile wars across the Middle East. It would start improving your lives.
Like he cares about those people over there. He just killed hundreds of them. All right. And I think, if I'm correctly, in the thousands now. And this dude has killed, as it's been estimated since the 7th of October of last year, 41,000 people have been killed by the IDF. So just let that sink in. And he coming to Iran with love, right? Come on, man, stop it.
Imagine if all the vast money the regime wasted on nuclear weapons and foreign wars were invested in your children's education and improving your health care, in building your nation's infrastructure, water, sewage.
And the reason why he's talking like that, too, because he knows that Russia will step in. And speaking of America in this case, America's backing out. As this reads over here, U.S. would not support the Israeli attack on Iran's nuclear sites, says Biden. So once again, they don't support, Israel's act like they did before. So America's showing that they ain't about this thing, man. They want a war, but they ain't about it at this particular moment in time. But either hand or all, it really doesn't really make a difference whether America wants to bitch out of this situation. They're going to get into this situation because Bible prophecy says so, as it is the counsel of the Lord, which will stand. Jeremiah 49 And verse 20, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, and at the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. So this war is definitely going to take place, and America will come and be the aid to their ally, which is Israel. Okay? If Israel is hit in a certain way, America will come to be the aid of Israel. And it's going to be war, whether they want it or not. All right? So, in saying that at the same time, this is also going to bring in the coming of the Lord himself. So now what I want to do is I want to read this. I want to read this scripture. I want to read this article over here. As this reads, Russia strongly condemns Israeli ground operation in Lebanon. Russia on Tuesday said that it strongly condemns Israel's ground operation in Lebanon, calling on Tel Aviv to immediately cease hostility and withdraw its troops from the country. Russia strongly condemns the attack on Lebanon and calls on the Israeli authorities to immediately cease hostilities, withdraw troops from Lebanese territories, and engage in a genuine search for peaceful ways to resolve the East conflict, said a foreign ministry statement. And there is not going to be no peace, as it is written. Thus saith the Lord, there is no peace unto the wicked. So eventually, you're going to have the Russians fighting up against the American people. All right? And any other nation which gets involved, all it's going to be is what the scripture says it's going to be. Complete destruction of the civilization is what's coming for this world. All right? And this situation will spiral out of control. All right? It's all beginning in the East. And this situation is going to basically escalate to something the world has never even expected. A world war. We will be in that which is called the Third World, which is the third world war, as the world would say it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to read this as well, Ezekiel 38. And let's begin by reading verse 1. Verse 1 to verse, I think, 8 or 9 or something like that. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks unto thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. So this reminds me of what happened, I think maybe it was 3 years ago, which was called something to the effect of the Great Mobilization or something like that, which you have right now. You have an estimate of hundreds of thousands of, soldiers on standby to protect, what's there. Their station, so to speak. And what I'll do is I'll post that on post-production because I don't really quite remember that information vividly. Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, which is Turkey, the house of Togomar, the same of the north quarters, and all his bands and many people with thee. And by the way, just to include, Turkey has joined BRICS a while back ago. So now Turkey is the interest of Russia. Okay? Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, as well as they've been since 2014, as I can quite remember. S-400 weapons were sent to Libya in Syria and the likes since the time of the administration of Obama and the administration of David Cameron, which was the former prime minister of this country, the UK. Verse 8, which is the point now, and after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, and against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them, and thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all of thy bands and many people with thee. And so what this is basically talking about is that in these times, Russia is going to invade the land of Israel, the land which will be brought back from the sword. In other words, that land is going to be destroyed and rebuilt it back when we get into that land. All right, that's going to be the land where we're going to be dwelling safely. So, like I said, the Russians are going to invade the land which will be brought back from the sword, a land which we're going to be dwelling in safely. And as this, looks, it looks like we're going to be in the land and we're going to be in the heart of this third woe. But that's not going to be the case. All right, you got to see this from a spiritual eye, what it's talking about. Because by the time we get into the land, prophecies like Isaiah chapter 2 and Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6 and onwards will be fulfilled when we get into the land. Okay. So what does it mean it's going to be brought back from the sword? Meaning it's going to be rebuilt, like I've mentioned, and I'll say it the third time coming. After the destruction has been said and done in that land, it's going to be rebuilt back. And also, what does it also mean? And it is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, because you have all of them nations that are dwelling there. You have them Edomites that are there, and as well as you have those so-called Palestinians that are there as well, which are nothing more than Arabs. And you have the various quarters of people in that land. All right. So you have nations that are dwelling in that land. So when that land is destroyed, all of those people are going to be destroyed in it. And that land is going to be desolate just so it can be rebuilt again by us. All right. So this is going to be the land which the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal will come into. Because he knows what it is. He knows that Russia's going to step in and be an aid to Iran. He knows this very well. All right, come on. If you're a politician nowadays, you definitely know what's going on geopolitically. So he's treading very carefully. But at the same time, in a matter of time, could be today, could be maybe tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. Israel's going to strike back and hit Iran with something. Okay, and eventually, this thing is going to spiral out of control, and people worldwide are going to bear witness to basically the prophecies of the scriptures, the counsel of the Lord overall, which is what we've been saying all along, man. All right. So that's all I got to say, brothers, and a few you sisters that have watched this video. With that, I want to close. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmiel Shan Bashem Warakak Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great Millstone that have taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai Bashem Warakak Wadash, and including the elder bishops on them too. And overall, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai Brakathum to the elect, the 144,000, and including those that follow, whom is the 1/3, and it's your brother, Laban. Shalom.